Verse 2. So Ruth the Moabitess said to Naomi. Now it might seem peculiar that it repeats Ruth the Moabitess here instead of just saying Ruth. This is actually important to remember because she is in the land of Israel and she's looking to participate in the fruits of the land despite being a Gentile. The use of the term once again then calls to mind legal phraseology. Moab is who she is. Israel is where she is, and the privileges and the customs of the land are what she is looking forward to. She is looking to gain the advantage of Israelite privileges despite being a Gentile. The verse also uses the name Naomi, pleasantness of the Lord, even though she wanted to be called Mara, or bitter. These words are selected carefully and keep leading us down a path of beauty and towards that which is really wonderful. Verse 2 continues, please let me go to the field. Using a general phrase here, she uses the word na. Na means basically I pray. Na hasadeh. Let me, I pray, to the field. She asks for permission to go out rather than simply saying that she is going out. What she intends to do is a self-demeaning act which will reflect on Naomi, and so, despite her needing to go, she still asks for permission. There is only the thought of respect and good intentions in her request, and it can only be taken in that way by Naomi. It would be like you're down at the beach, and you've got the whole family together, and Grandpa is out there, and he's playing ball with one of the grandchildren. And by accident, the ball gets thrown into the water, and it starts to drift out from shore. Instead of getting up and saying, oh, I'll get it, which could hurt Grandpa's feeling, the dad knows that he is no longer capable of swimming in the tide. And so he says, Dad, do you mind if I'll get it? Both know that it is a necessity that Dad should get it, but making it a question is intended to protect Grandpa's family standing. This is what Ruth is doing for Naomi. She's being gracious and asking to do what she alone can and must do. Another thing to note is that the word for field is not intended to mean a plain, but rather plowed and cultivated land. It's similar to our idea of the word field in English, which comes from the German word fold, which is a clearance of felled trees. This word for field in the Hebrew is in the singular. It's not plural. Another important point for us to remember. There is one cultivated land which would be marked by stones or maybe a tree to delineate where that piece of property ended, but the land ran continuously. Farmers would own their own property and they'd cultivate to the edges of it and probably leave just a little walkway along the sides, but there wouldn't be these big stone borders or anything like that. This type of marking is noted in Deuteronomy 19:14, and it shows why the term field is singular here. It also shows the respect that people were to have for the rights and property of others. Here's what it says. You shall not remove your neighbor's landmark, which the men of old have set in your inheritance, which you will inherit in the land that the Lord your God is giving you to possess. So they'd merely have a stone, and that marked where the land or property of the land ended, and they were not to mess with those things. Verse 2 continues.